In this video, we're going to go over advanced features so you can edit all your pages on your website to feel the way you like. Now, the first thing is I am here on my About Us page. You can choose any page on your site. Now, once you're here, if you go up to the top menu in the right here and click on this Advanced Style Settings toggle, you'll get more options to adjust the display and layout of your content. You could always easily toggle it on or off while you are editing your site. Now, let's test out some of these features. So I'm going to go to the Add Block section, and here you're going to have these 4 key elements: section, 2-column, 3-column, and then 3x7, which is a 2-column section. These are really valuable to get started on a new section build. So what I'll do is I'll click here, drag this 3 columns into the page, and then from there, make sure that my toggle is on for the advanced settings. And you can see here, you get options for how you want the content to sit. I obviously currently don't have any content in these, but there are a few options I can see and adjust accordingly. So one thing I can do here is with direction, I could adjust it so that it is pushing down, and you'll see here the content stacks on top of each other, which could be really useful for a design layout. You can also come in here and adjust the gap between columns and rows, and you could customize other aspects of the layout as well. Now, let's add a bit more content to the page and show you a few more options that you have. First, I'll drag in an image, and then I'll add this in here. Then below that, I'll add in a header, and I also will add in a description box as well as a button. Now we have 3 separate columns that are stacked on top of each other. So what I'll do here is I'll click on this actual section. You'll see as I hover, you'll get different names. So up here at the top, it says section. So I'll click there. And then here are all my options again, and I could play with this and adjust it accordingly. So if I want everything to align to the left, I could do that. If I want it to align to the right, I can do that. Center, I can adjust it accordingly. And then here we can go back to, let me move back up. This here is setting the direction to be a row, so you could see that, or a column. I could do it reverse, or I could do it column reverse. In this case, I am going to go back to this direction here, and I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to drag this button here, and then I'm going to delete this column. So then we have these 2 columns here. Now I'm going to make one adjustment between the cells. So I'll click here to the section. And so here I'll add in a column gap, and I'm just going to do 40 pixels. So it adds a bit of spacing there, which is really nice. Again, with the advanced settings on, you get a lot more options and functionality, so you can customize the site to your desired look. Now, some cool features as you're working through your site. Let's say I want to duplicate this section and I actually want 4 columns. Well, I can click the duplicate button here, and you'll see with ease, I can easily just create new columns to fill this section. And if I do want to adjust any of the spacing, again, I can easily just adjust the flex direction and see how it lays out and make adjustments from there. Now, let's say we want to build a different section. I am going to take a few steps back here and build something a little bit different here. So the first thing is I am actually going to drag this content by clicking on this arrow here on the other side of the image. Then from there, I'm actually going to get rid of the image and delete that. And then in this spot here, I'm going to add in a new block. I'll scroll down here to the content, and I'm going to drag in the episodes. Also, another cool feature is you can right click and click on copy. All right, so now we have these episodes in here. What I'm going to do is right click and click copy, and then go down to another section that I have on the page and paste this in. So let's paste it in right here on this section. And just like that, you're able to copy and paste the section that you have on your site. Now we're going to customize this a bit. On this section, I am going to do a few things. The first thing I'm going to do is just change it to 1 episode. So it shows the latest episode on our podcast. Then from there, I'm going to change the background color to be the website background color, so it just flows really well. What I like about this now is that I can easily come in here and then copy the styles. Then from there, let's go back to that second section. We had the same block. I could come in here and paste those styles. And just like that, it has matched the styles to our liking. Now let's add a video to our website. What I'll do here is I'll get rid of this section for now, and then I'm gonna add in a video widget by coming into the blocks and then dragging in the video embed. Once I have that, I will select where the video source is. In this case, it's YouTube, and so I'll need to pull the video ID. A quick way to do that is go to a YouTube video, click on share, and then you'll see here, I'll zoom in, and a video ID will be everything after the / all the way to the question mark, not including the question mark. So I'll copy that, and then I'll go back to my website, paste in that video ID, and just like that, you'll see it populate. Next, let's walk through how to embed code onto your website. I am going to delete this video block for now, and then we'll go to our blocks, and I'll add the embed code block here. And then from here, I'll be able to add in any code that I like. So in this case, first I want to show how you can paste in some JavaScript. So here I'm using a tool ConvertKit for my email marketing. And so I'll copy this code here, come back to the site and paste this in and click Insert Code. It'll let you know that you'll need to see it on the actual live site. So we'll just hit Update. And then we'll click here to open up the actual website, and you can see the form populates here. Second, if I want to use the HTML, I can copy that and then go back to our site and paste that code in, click insert, click update, and then do the same thing. I'll refresh the page here, and you'll see the form populates as well. Next, let's work with an image. I'll come in here again, delete this, and then drag in an image block, and then we will add a photo in here and click select. What I'll also do is go back to the main section, and in this case, I'm going to adjust the content to be a column so that the photo, it comes down here, and now we'll make a few adjustments. The first thing is I don't want it to take up the full width of the page, so I'm going to come down here and drag this down just a bit till I get to about 500. So I'll just type this in, 500 pixels. From there, I'm going to change the image alignment. Currently it's set to left, but I could adjust that to center or right. Now, in this case, I'll adjust this back up to a row and adjust the image to align to the left. Now, let's adjust the typography a bit to our liking. So the first thing we want to do is adjust this sentence specifically and make some customizations here. You can highlight it and you could easily make it bold, but let's just say you want to adjust the typography a bit more. What you can do is click on this paintbrush, and from there, you have the ability to adjust this text even further. So with this text selected, you can see that you can make adjustments to the typography in any form or fashion. So in this case, I'm just going to adjust the font size a little bit so it's a little bit bigger just so you can see what it looks like. And then I'm going to change the weight from normal to semi-bold. So there you can see adjustments right away to that specific text. From there, if you need to make something a hyperlink, some of the text a hyperlink, what you can do is highlight the text. I'll come in here and highlight these two words, and then click on the chain link here and add in a link. So at the top of the settings panel, once you've clicked that chain link, you'll be able to add a link in here. I'm gonna do this, and then you could adjust if this opens in this window or a new window. Next, let's add the podcast info widget to the page. What we'll do is we'll click on the block here. So scroll down until you see the podcast info. I'll click on this and drag it in and drop it in right there. From here, I'm going to change the background color. Again, I'm going to change it to the brand color, and then I'll change the font color so that it is legible. So the button font color, we're going to keep at white, and we're going to change the button color to our branded blue. And then I'll hit OK. And then when someone hovers, we want it to go to the darker blue. So I'll click OK there. And then I'll click Update. So I just did a double check and adjusted the font color on hover to be white, and then the button hover background color to be the dark blue. Now when I take a look at the site, you can see here that when you hover, the button turns to dark blue, which looks great. I am going to make one more adjustment. I would like to change this section to be full width, so I'll turn this toggle on. Next, let's add the episode slider in. I'm going to click the plus sign, scroll down until I see the episode slider, and then drag that in. From here, you can see the episode slider. I'm going to click full width and then make some adjustments to the layout. So the first option you have here is for a default or an alternate. And in this case, I'll show you the alternate, but I will start with this and make a few adjustments. The first adjustment I'm going to make is change the background to be black and then click OK. Then from here, I'm going to change the episode limit from 3 to 9. Okay, so now that I have this toggled on, I am going to play and adjust this heading section a bit. So this is currently our heading section. Our size is H1. I don't want to make H1 bigger throughout the website, but on this page specifically, I want to make it bigger. So what I'll do is I will go to the classes at the bottom, and then I'll click the plus sign. And from here, I'm going to do mega font. Just call it that. And then hit enter. Then from here, I am going to adjust some of the type settings. So in this case, I'm going to adjust some of the typography settings. Right now, the font is about 50 pixels. We're going to go to, let's go to 90. Perfect. So that is there. From here, if I duplicate this, I can make additional adjustments. So let's say we actually want to adjust this and we want to change it down to 85, but I want to change all of them throughout my website that have this class. And I'll click here on this little refresh and that will adjust the font sizes accordingly. Now from here, let's say I want to add another level to this and maybe say I want to make a few pieces of text on my website red. And so I could add in red font. And then here, come in and make the adjustment to the color where I click into here and adjust it and hit OK. So now this one specifically is both mega and red, while the other ones are just mega. Now, if you do want to add in any type of cool effects with hover states, you could also come into this section here, click on the state, hover, click even or odd. You can then make further adjustments. So here in this case, let's say I want the text color to change just a bit from the color it is, just to a bit of a lighter color. I'll change the opacity here. And so now when I hover over it, you can see just a minor change. Let me make it a little bit more significant so you can see it. But as I hover over it, you'll see the font change in color. Now, let's say you want to take this styling that you have made with one of the classes and use it on another part of your website. Well, it is very easy to do. I'm going to click here on this text that we have. It is already set up as an H1, but I want it to be the mega font. So I'll click the plus sign in the classes, type in the class just like I had it down below, and then I'll hit enter. Now you'll see it just made the font bigger, and it now matches that styling. And if I made any adjustment here and wanted to match styles across other sections, let's make this a bit bigger, and then I can click refresh, and you'll see here it adjusted the content and the styling accordingly.